All right, so today is Tuesday, April 11th. It is a very auspicious day energetically. Today is a supercharged day for luck and fortune, unexpected miracles and blessings, openness, expansion, dreams coming true. This one little piece is kind of getting on the nerves, but whatever. And so let me see if I can maybe turn this around. It should be getting a little darker soon, but we'll figure that out when we do. I don't know that. Oh, okay, that's better. Sorry. All right. So, anyways, what was I saying? Yeah. So today's an auspicious day. Very blessed day, full of a lot of magic and a lot of powerful manifestation support. So, if you've got some things you've been working on, things that you would like to bring into fruition, even if you just take a little baby step. The time now is 7:11, all about good luck, right? So even if you take a baby step, just sending an email, doing a little research, reaching out. Venus just moved into Gemini, so we are all about communication. And tonight's card just popped out while I was talking, so we're going to go with that one. So let's see who tonight's goddess is so that we can take in this wonderful time of universal support. And I could not make this stuff up. I cannot make. Anybody want to guess what the card is? We've been through a few cycles. Not all the goddesses come up often. Some of them are they just sneak in one day. But we were talking about the spring season. We were also talking about being a part of nature. We were talking about manifestation and abundance and fruitfulness, right? So fertility might come to mind, right? And then also with spring season, you have the bunnies and eggs and Easter, which in the goddess practices or goddess-based rituals, Easter, or I guess you could Easter or Ostara or even Ostara. Look at that. Goddess of fertility. I love this. All right. So, Goddess of fertility is a perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, give birth to new conditions. Y'all, we just had Easter, rebirth and resurrection. Okay. So this is an opportune time for you to literally let go of whatever is no longer serving you so that you can create space to receive what it is that you truly desire. Okay. And if you have been working on things, then this is also confirmation that you are on the right path. Okay. So between everything, that's why I just love being in the flow. Y'all, it just feels good, right? So a little bit about Ostara, which I think it's interesting that her name Ostara, the star part in the pronunciation is what's highlighted or accentuated. So star is also, I know, Sydney's favorite tarot card, the Star Tarot card. And so this is, let's see, Miss Ostara is a Teutonic goddess of fertility and springtime, who's sometimes called Oster or Easter. The word East and Easter were both named after Ostara because of the reference to the sun rising in the east and the increase in sunlight. I just so happen to be sitting in natural light today instead of all this other stuff. And the beginning of the Celtic springtime. So she's celebrated during the spring equinox, which we just had back in, well, yeah, we had that back in March. So the spring equinox, so she's celebrated during the spring equinox as the bringer of increased light and the balance between night and day. Call upon Ostara to increase your fruitfulness, right? Fertility, or to help you embark on new adventures. So if you are looking for fruitfulness, manifestation, fertility, whether fertility is connecting to your womb or fertility as in being able to just bring things to life, bring things into fruition, your creations into fruition, or if you're looking for assistance in your new ventures, well, then you got that today. So Well, today and always, right? So, with that being said, go ahead and take some nice deep breaths. And just allow that message and this divine time to land where it may in your space. Eventually closing your eyes if you haven't done so already. Taking in this moment, taking in some deep breaths. Just giving yourself permission to slow down for this moment. Allowing all the energies of today to just settle all around you and within, finding that space of stillness and quiet. And when you feel ready, go ahead and just tune in to the thoughts that may be flowing through the mind. No attachment, no judgment, just observing your thoughts. Where are you mentally right now? In the past, in the future? Can you be present right here, right now? And notice how you're feeling this evening, or if you're watching the replay. What emotions are you experiencing? No judgment, just observation. How are you feeling right now? Perhaps you label those emotions. Maybe you compartmentalize your emotions, your thoughts, but just notice, taking a moment to acknowledge how you're feeling. And however you are feeling, it's perfectly fine. Our emotions are simply energy in motion. And when we allow our emotions to flow, we allow energy to flow. And in that flow is where we receive the wisdom, the insight, the healing, the growth, transformation that those emotions offer us. It is your divine birthright to experience joy, peace, love, abundance, happiness, fruitfulness, fertility, fortune, and all the blessings this material world and the spiritual world has to offer you. You are an extension of Mother Earth, the embodiment of divine feminine above. You are the channel, the conduit. That beacon of light, hope, high priestess. Goddess, Queen, Sovereign Woman, however you see yourself, however you would like to identify yourself. Just take a moment to connect with that. Allow your crown to be on and lit so that you can embrace and embody those archetypes that are already within you. And just breathe, allowing your body to relax as you just put on this energy, put on this role, this archetype. Give yourself a moment to just energetically play dress up, tapping into that inner childlike quality, playfulness, optimism, awe, and wonder. Allowing your imagination to just be on so that it serves you, and creating the ideas, the imagery, even the feelings that support the identity that you have chosen for yourself. Notice how it makes you feel. How does your body respond? If you were to just see yourself and pretend right now that you are dressed as a high priestess, goddess, an empress, queen, an earth angel, divine mother, sovereign woman. Deep breath in. And some slow, steady exhale. Continue to breathe nice and slow. In and out, each breath releasing what no longer serves you. Receiving newness of each breath. And just relax. All is working in your favor. Take a moment to just own that affirmation and experience intention for yourself. All is working in your favor. Lean into that. Because you see right now, there's an abundance of support that surrounds you. You are held in this space of love, just like that little seedling that is planted. You are ready and full of potential. And what blossoms from your being, what comes from your essence, your truth, is divinely aligned to that which you focus on. And just like that seedling, You are being nurtured with tender, loving care. This is your time of fertility. Own that. Embrace that. Mother Nature is showing us that this is a time of fruitfulness and fertility, of potential, opportunity, growth, expansion, beauty, manifestation. In this fertile time of spring, it is a perfect time for you to start those new projects. Anything that you are working on right now is being divinely orchestrated and supported. This is a fertile time for you. Have patience with your process, but do not give up. This is also a time for you to access new ideas, to go deeper, to learn, to see things differently. Maybe just shifting your perspective to one of more optimism and enthusiasm, seeing things through the lens of hope, trust in that process, in your process. You find yourself flooded with all sorts of creative ideas, just write them down and take note during this time, this season. Because not everything is meant to bloom all year round. And that which does takes a considerable amount of attention and time, nurturing, presence. Give yourself permission to take it easy on yourself. Just as Mother Nature, nothing is rushed, yet everything is accomplished. This is also an opportune time to give birth to new conditions. If you have been thinking about changing things around, whether it's physically, your home, your look, your hair, your diet, your job, this is the time to seek more guidance and information. Maybe do some research. Trust your intuition. Perhaps you're giving birth to new conditions emotionally, asserting your boundaries and upholding them, doing what feels good, what feels lighter, letting go and releasing shadow work so that you can receive more light and to become lighter. Maybe you give birth to new conditions mentally, noticing the thoughts, the things that you are always obsessed or thinking about over and over again, and ruminating and overthinking and overanalyzing all the time. Maybe it's time for you to find a way to cope or to heal or to transform those thoughts so that they are ones that serve you better, help you to see things clearly and in truth. but also help you maintain a positive outlook on life. And spiritually, what would it look like to give birth to new conditions spiritually? Maybe you clean off your altar. Maybe you visit a place of sanctity, power. Maybe you reach out, get a reading, or maybe you decide to meditate more for your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. Maybe you just allow yourself to ask for divine assistance and intervention, and allow Spirit to show you that it is here for you. She is here for you, that Divine Mother, to love and nurture you, supporting you in all ways. Just breathe. Really feel into the energy of spring. Feel the lightness, brightness, hope, endless possibilities. Feel the space available for growth and expansion, for beauty to unfold in your life. But in order for us to truly embrace the season of spring, not just in the outside world, but within ourselves, we must also honor that which has ended, been released, no longer available. It is a season of winter we have just moved through. And so how can you also honor that season of letting go? Knowing just like nature, all that dies is eventually returned to earth, and it creates fertile ground, beautiful new beginning. Where are you in this process? Are you still in winter? Cold, rigid, introspective, hoarding, quiet, still? Are you in spring? You're ready for a fresh new start. Unsure of what the future may hold, but you're optimistic, faithful, ready to maybe hit the ground running, or just allowing yourself to bathe in the light of the season. Maybe you're somewhere in between, having a personal transition between winter and spring. And that is a very special place. Your awareness of where you are and what season you are in personally can allow you to practice self-care, the rituals, and gain the self-awareness to move with grace, to be in the flow above and below. Spring is a time when the light increases, not only in the outside world, but within your mind, your body, your heart, and your soul. If you've been feeling dark, heavy, or depressed, finding yourself still in a winter season personally, then lighten up by simply fueling your positive intentions with the intuitively guided action steps needed to help you move through the seasons and time and transition with more ease and grace. Fuel yourself with positive intentions, nutritious foods, and anything that sparks feelings of love, joy, and happiness. Surround yourself with beautiful flowers. Brighten the colors in your wardrobe, your home. Draw back the curtains, not only from the windows, but from your mind's eye, so that you can let in the light. You can always paint a sunnier outlook within yourself, which gives rise to all sorts of new opportunities. For like attracts like. So, where is your focus? What season are you in personally? You'll feel more energized and powerful as you spruce up your inner and your outer world. And then capitalize on this increased energy by starting that new project, launching that new business, going on that new venture, taking that risk, and that which truly makes your heart sing with joy and excitement. Know that this is a fertile time for you. Connect with that energy. What comes to mind when you think of fertility? Many times we think of pregnancy, sex, babies, birds and the bees. So fertility is not only about procreating human life or any type of life. Fertility can simply be that you are the holder of that space. It is a soil that is fertile. And when the seed is planted, that is what allows it to grow. And that seedling can turn into anything. So being fertile just simply means you are a space holder for miracles to happen. It is your birthright to create, to recreate, to procreate, to destroy and recreate again. You are a woman. That is your divine birthright. Rebirth and death. Our transitions, when we learn to embrace them, can serve us in the most greatest way. For most women, every month you go through cycles of death, birth, and rebirth. Whether you actually become pregnant or not is not the focus. Your body naturally is fertile. It naturally produces the space, the time, the opportunity to grow, to expand, to let go, and to recreate every 28 days. You are an amazing, magical being. Never forget. And if you do, just take a breath and come back to that truth that you are fertile. You don't have to be scared to embrace that, to own that. You can direct that energy of fertility to whatever you desire, your new business, your new home, your new relationships, your career, and yes, of course, to your family, future generations. What are you giving birth to? Maybe it's a new version of yourself. And sometimes in that process of giving birth, we also have that winter-like essence of death, and we must grieve who we were or what was. And that is okay too. Where are you in your process? Can you allow yourself to grieve and let go of what was with ease and grace? Allow whatever emotions need to come up so that you can purify yourself. Do a little internal spring cleaning and be successful in bringing your desires fully manifest in the springtime. Now is your season. How can you take advantage of it? What seeds have been planted? What have you been nurturing? There is no need to rush or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in divine timing. If you find a resurrection of the old comes about, simply take a breath, acknowledge it, and address it accordingly. But don't lose sight of the light that is here for you. Stay focused. Know that your new idea or venture will be successful, and that now is an opportune time to make substantial life changes. What are you giving birth to? What would it feel like to know that you are fertile and are bringing your desires into fruition with ease and grace? Because you are fruitful, abundant, magical, healed, an alchemist, transformative. You are powerful. You are worthy of that which you desire. And when you take those action steps, even in fear, you'll find that Spirit is there. The Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine, Mother Earth is there to support you above and below. You are never alone. If you would like assistance in increasing your fruitfulness, your fertility, your creativity, or assistance in embarking on new adventures and the blessings that spring and the Goddess Ostara has for you, just ask. Setting the intention to receive that or better. Just breathe. All is working in your favor. And so it is. When you are ready, bring some gentle movements to the fingertips, toes, allowing that energy to expand through the extremities and moving the wrists, ankles, maybe taking some nice little stretches, doing some hip circles, awakening the sacral chakra energy that holds our womb in our fertility, in our creativity, in our intuition. And then when you feel ready, give yourself a little love being here and showing up. Give yourself a lot of love for being here and showing up. And opening your eyes. You come out of meditation when you're ready. All right. Well, I must say today was a little wonky. I didn't get a chance to put my face on or anything like that. Like I said, I kind of had to shift things around in my room because my phone charger, I don't know where it is. So I had one, but it's like short. So I'm like, how do I get that together? But it just so happened, like I said, divine timing. We've had the spring equinox back in March. We've also been through a new moon in Aries already. We've had a full moon last week in Libra. We've had some interesting astrological shifts. Venus in Gemini gives a little bit more playfulness in our relationships. Also seeing things from a different perspective. And when I was initially sitting here, the sun was coming in, beaming in bright. And then we had Easter on Sunday. We also had Good Friday and Passover, and we're like, really stepping further into the spring season. And so, yeah, for the message to be one of fertility, I mean, I can't make this stuff up. I literally I didn't even get to shuffle actually. For some of y'all that weren't on earlier, when I was trying to shuffle, I was about to start and then the card just fell out. And I was like, okay, well, that's just going to be it. And guess what? I couldn't have picked a better card for this season. So we have Miss Ostara in spring. I know that's a little tricky to see it because it's blurry, but so the various meanings of this is this card signifies pregnancy. I didn't want to say that because sometimes, as women, we're like, so if that's the case, pregnancy, like I said, it's just also about just being able to, be a space holder for new creation, right? Being pregnant with something just means you are full of life. It just means that life is growing through you and going through you, and you're in this flow, this process, right? And so, with that being said, as someone who is a mother, once you become pregnant and decide to carry out that pregnancy, or however it works out, I don't want to say decide to. Well, some of us decide, but anyways, my point is, in a generalized way, I know as a mother, I realized that, holy crap, once I have this kid, even though I'm pregnant now, that's one thing. But once this baby comes out, like, you're never not a mother ever again. You are always still a mother. It doesn't matter if you, you know, allow your kid to be adopted or someone else, like raises them, family member. It doesn't matter. You are always going to be that child's mother. So with that being said, pregnancy is also about whatever you give birth to, that is your baby. Okay, so if you bought yourself a new car, that's your baby. You got a new apartment or something, that's your baby. You got a new pet, that's your baby. New business or new project that you're working on, that's your baby. So, and sometimes you might have to be the mother to your own baby, meaning your own inner child, right? And then the second one was you'll be involved in a successful child conception, adoption, or custody resolution. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Your desire will fully manifest in the springtime. So if you have been working diligently on things throughout this, fall, winter season, or however long, I'll be breaking down the seasonal stuff, how that looks like in our actual lives as women more throughout the year. Because life transitions and seasonal cycles, menopause, grief, all that stuff is my major in the Tantra program. So makes sense. But with that being said, if you've been working on things behind the scenes, your desire will manifest in the springtime. So that can be this spring. We still have, a couple more months of actual spring, or it will occur maybe next spring, depending on what you're working on. Certain things take a little longer. There will be a resurrection of the old. We got Mercury retrograde coming up. Sometimes those X's and stuff like that pop up. I don't know. But also, in order to be fruitful and have the most fertile soil, sometimes we have to dig those nasty dead roots, right? So whatever is no longer working, that may have to come up for you to be aware of it so you can clear it and have some freedom. And then your new idea or venture will be successful. Period. Period. It's an opportune time to make life changes. So if you are looking at making some life changes, I know I've been affirming that myself for a long time. Like I am ready for 2023 to bring me a significant and substantial positive shift. Not that, I'm pretty much at this point happy-go-lucky almost every single day. So, but that doesn't mean you can't desire more and better, right? So that is tonight's message. And the collective message actually is, oh, okay. So the collective message is I was talking a little bit in the beginning about like us coming through winter, right? And what winter season looks like in our lives, not just well, if we take our cues from nature, from Mother Nature, right? Then think about it. Okay, winter is typically cold, bleak. Um, it can be kind of rigid. Things are frozen and solid. But at the same time, there's a quiet, right? There's a stillness. Things kind of slow down, and we are able to go inwards or able to rest. Right? We typically have more time off because you get the holidays. Now, what you do with that time in the holidays, that's on you. If you want to jam pack your schedule with, all this holiday stuff and feel obligated to have to do everything, that's on you. But there is opportunity if you have time off to rest and rejuvenate yourself. And so, depending on where you are, you might be in that rest and restorative space of winter. You might be in that cold, rigid space of winter. And that can be, rigidity in the mind, your spiritual body, or emotions, maybe even physically. We're resting, we're probably not being as active. But then spring comes and it's like, ooh, we start to get spring fever. We want to be outside. We want to be more active. We want to do more things. We want to, eat lighter. We want to like look better. We want to start working out. We want to do, all these little things. And spring can be great and a great opportunity as a woman to embrace in our lives, because spring can offer us that space of new beginnings, excitement, potential, and all kinds of opportunities. It's also a time where things that we have been working on come into fruition, or we start to see some growth, some momentum. Summer actually in a woman's life is where things are at its fullness. Things have matured, right? We are at it's like woman's prime is her 40s. That would be the equivalent to a woman's summer in a way. But you can also have, different seasons in your life within the actual natural seasonal cycle. So with that being said, if you find yourself kind of like still in this winter bleak, like mode, then honor that. See what it is that needs to be grieved, what needs to be released, what needs to be honored, so that you can transition into the spring season, with more vigor, more enthusiasm, more life. You have more energy to pour into that the seedlings that you have planted, but also that which you're giving birth to. As a woman, sometimes we can get stuck in different seasons. Sometimes it's hard to come out of winter because winter can be very depressing. So if you find that you're always like a little lethargic or maybe depressed and so forth, then you might still be like kind of in a winter season personally. But there are ways to transition out of it. So it's just the awareness first. And then this is actually divinely timed because I was literally working and doing the homework and the meditations and the assignments for the seasonal cycle in the Tantra program like this week. So, so this is all fresh, y'all. And then in the spring, what we think of women who are like spring chicken, right? So we think of youthfulness. That's another word. Baby energy, youthfulness, a little bit of maybe naivety, or just being a little kind of aloof. We might, spring might also kind of be like the Fool card in tarot. And spring can also be a sense of, come with a sense of innocence, though, purity. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not potential. It's and not opportunity. It's almost kind of like not the 0 point, but like that sport, that winter and like spring, that transitional piece in between is kind of like the 0 point, where anything is possible. Possibilities. That's the word. I was like, I know it's another P word. I'm like, it's not potential. It's possibilities. Um, and so sometimes as women, what that looks like, spring in our personal lives, what that looks like is we get fixated on youthfulness. We get fixated on, not wanting to grow up. Men in their spring season, they're Peter Pan. 40 some years old, still act like they're 17. Emotionally stunted. You know what I'm saying? Mentally stunted, maybe a little reckless or irresponsible, just don't want to grow up. Not men, but also women, have a hard time with aging, have a hard time with allowing ourselves to be seen, having a hard time even having fun. Spring can be, we can get stuck in spring as well by not allowing ourselves to mature and to evolve and to grow. And so just keep that in mind this week and see with that information where maybe in different parts of your life you're still in winter. Sometimes if we've had, bad relationships that have been traumatic, we get stuck in a winter season. We get depressed, we feel lonely, we become more cold emotionally, more rigid emotionally or socially. That is winter. Okay, that's the negative part of winter. And so, or the shadow aspect, I guess, of winter. So notice where you might be still stuck in the winter phase. But winter can also be like things just haven't really peeked through the surface yet. So if you're waiting on something to happen, then that space of waiting can also be you being in winter. If you are in a spring phase, well, that's where we are now. But just kind of see how that plays into your life. So your homework for the collective message is to see where you might be in the shadow aspect or the light aspect of winter and spring, and see how you can bring some sort of ritual to that space, some awareness to that space, so that you can truly bloom and be more fulfilled this season. So, all right, and we'll catch you next time. I will go into the readings now.